This is the joint communique on the occasion of the official visit to Kenya by His Excellency Hamza Abdi Bare, Prime Minister of the Federal Republic of Somalia. At the invitation of His Excellency Rigathi, Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, His Excellency Hamza Abdi Bare, Prime Minister of the Federal Republic of Somalia, is on an official visit to Kenya from 6th to 8th of May 2024. His Excellency the Deputy President and His Excellency Prime Minister Abdi Bare held high-level talks in Nairobi on the 7th of May. The discussions focused on bilateral, regional, and international issues of mutual interest and concern. These discussions were held in a friendly atmosphere, during which the two leaders recalled the deep historical bonds of friendship between the two countries over many years. The Deputy President was accompanied by Cabinet Secretaries in charge of Defense, East African Community, Agriculture, Trade and Investment and Industry, Internal Security, Roads and Transport, Labor, and Education, and of course myself. His Excellency Hamza Abdi Bare was, on the other hand, accompanied by ministers responsible for foreign affairs and international cooperation, defense, internal security, transport and civil aviation, education, as well as commerce and industry. The official visit was preceded by the third session of the Kenya-Somalia Joint Commission for Cooperation, held from 3rd to 6th of May 2024. The ministerial delegations were led by Musalia Mudavadi, Prime Cabinet Secretary and Cabinet Secretary for Foreign and Diaspora Affairs of the Republic of Kenya, and His Excellency Ahmed Maulin Fiki, Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation of the Federal Republic of Somalia. In their statements during the bilateral talks, the two leaders held warm, fraternal, and cordial relations that exist between the two countries and emphasized the need to enhance and deepen their bilateral cooperation. Prime Minister Hamza Abdi Bare expressed his heartfelt condolences for the tragic loss of lives and extensive destruction of infrastructure caused by the recent floods in Kenya. He reiterated Somalia's solidarity with the affected communities during this difficult time. The two leaders shared a moment of solidarity, acknowledging the challenges posed by natural disasters and reaffirming their commitment to support each other in times of crisis. Subsequently, the two leaders discussed a wide range of issues covering the various sectors of Kenya-Somalia bilateral cooperation. These sectors included trade, defense, internal security, immigration, economy, education, transport and infrastructure, political affairs, among others. The leaders underscored the importance of enhancing partnership in the international stage and the need for continued consultations to build partnerships in multilateral fora to ensure the agenda of the Global South is prioritized. The two leaders acknowledged that the East African Community integration process expanded with Somalia's admission. It marks a new chapter to further improve regional integration efforts, as well as providing a new platform for trade cooperation between the two countries. They further reaffirmed their commitment to deepen bilateral relations in trade and investment. They recognized the opportunity for both states to complement each other's resources, goods, services, and personnel, resulting in a cohesive bilateral trade system. Recognizing the great opportunities in trade, Kenya and Somalia resolved to further work towards removing barriers to facilitate the movement of people and goods, promote investment, and open up new markets of mutual interest to achieve greater and sustainable participation in trade for both states. They also agreed to foster and enhance the trade of fish and fish products between Somalia and Kenya. This is aimed at achieving mutual economic benefits and strengthening cooperation in the blue economy. On security, the two leaders commended the ongoing collaboration and committed to fight against terrorism and other transnational crimes. They requested relevant security agencies to strengthen their cooperation in border security, capacity building for police, and other related areas. Both leaders further underscored the significance of the Joint Commission for Cooperation in advancing mutual interests and strengthening the bilateral relations between the Republic of Kenya and Somalia. They praised the comprehensive discussions and agreements reached during the third session of the JCC held in Nairobi from 3rd to 6th May that included an MOU on political consultations between the Ministries of Foreign Affairs, an MOU on education, research, and training. The leaders appreciated the progress in the field of transport and logistics, agreeing to expedite the processes necessary for the MOU on cooperation and joint development in the areas of land, transport, and logistics, with the aim of fostering sustainable agricultural and livestock development. The two governments agreed on the importance of established frameworks for cooperation in these sectors. They tasked their respective ministries to initiate and finalize the necessary MOUs to promote cooperation in crop development, livestock health, marketing, among others. They further emphasized the importance of the implementation of the concluded instruments and directed ministries responsible for foreign affairs to develop implementation modalities. They also noted that there were ongoing discussions to conclude several bilateral instruments in other areas, including internal security, that is immigration and police matters, trade and industrialization, standards, agriculture, health, education and training, cultural cooperation, sports, among others. Specifically, they directed their respective ministries to expedite dialogue and formalize relevant agreements by the set deadlines. Concluding their discussions, both leaders expressed their anticipation for the continued strengthening of relations through the commitments made during this visit and looked forward to the implementation of the agreements for the mutual benefit of both countries. At the conclusion of the visit, His Excellency Hamza Abdi Bare expressed profound gratitude and appreciation to His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, the government and the people of the Republic of Kenya for the warm reception and generous hospitality extended to him and his delegation. End of communique.
Thank you for extending your kind invitation to me and my delegation, and we appreciate the cultural hospitality afforded to me and my delegation during our visit in Nairobi. And I thank you for hosting us in your beautiful residence today. My sincere condolences for the tragic loss of lives and in Kenya, actually, by the flood, the recent flood in Kenya, and we are sorry too much damage to critical infrastructures. We look forward to the fruitful outcomes of our bilateral cooperation under GCC. It has been an important platform to promote cooperation on a range of important issues for both our nations. Our technical teams have reached the tangible results. They have also identified a number of new potential areas of cooperation which will be addressed in the coming months. Once again, thank you for your kind hospitality and your dedication for advancing our mutual cooperation. Thank you very much. Let me start by expressing my deepest gratitude for the warm welcome and kind hospitality extended to me and my delegation during our visit. It is always a pleasure to be here among friends in the beautiful country of Kenya. We are not only neighbors, we are not only neighbors who share borders, we share deep historical ties and bonds of brotherhood that shape our shared aspirations. We are also partners in the quest for regional stability and prosperity and share the ambitions of progress of the global South. Somalia is committed to be an active partner in the quest for a more integrated and cooperative East Africa. It is on these among foundations that we seek to build an even brighter future for our people. We are deeply saddened by the devastating impact of the recent floods in Kenya. Our heartfelt condolences go to those affected by the tragic loss of lives, and we sympathize the extensive damage to essential infrastructure. Both our nations continue to endure the increasingly severe consequences of climate change, a problem to which we did not contribute. We must enforce our cooperation in climate adaptation and environmental protection and intensify our collective efforts in advocating for more global financing to address loss and damage. I commend the efforts of both our countries since our last meeting in the second session of the JCC in Nairobi and Mandera. The progress made during the initial sessions of our Joint Commission for Cooperation lays a strong foundation for today's discussions. It is a testament to what we can achieve together with mutual respect and understanding. In the past few days, our senior officials have engaged in joint constructive discussions reviewing the progress made so far and potential areas where we can forge new ties of cooperation. I understand their discussions have covered the clusters of foreign relations and security, economics and trade, as well as social affairs. I took note that it is time to find renewed commitment to not only continue our cooperation, but to deepen it, recognizing that together our potential is limitless. Our economic front, we are paving the way for a more integrated future, removing barriers to trade and creating a seamless flow of people, goods, services, and ideas to capitalize on and complement our respective resources. On security, we stand united against the threats of terrorism and transnational crimes, committed to safeguarding the peace that is the right of every East African citizen. I am particularly pleased with the advancement made in discussions, agreements reached, and the memorandums of understanding we signed during this session, as well as agreed minutes between our two nations. Let us ensure that the commitment made are commitments kept and agreements are implemented in full. The instruments we have signed must be blueprints for action and pathways to the tangible benefits that our people expect and deserve. I also urge our respective institutions to continue and expedite their dialogues and formalize relevant agreements in the remaining areas discussed by the set deadlines. Finally, I would like to thank His Excellency, the Deputy President, the ministers, MPs present, senior officials from both our nations and guests present here today who have worked tirelessly to bring these discussions for fruition. Let's continue to work together to turn our shared goals into shared successes. I am looking forward to seeing this dialogue continue, not just within the halls of conference rooms such as this, but between our communities and industries. Let us build bridges where there have been none and strengthen those that have stood the test of time. Once again, Your Excellency, accept our deepest thanks and appreciations for your warm hospitality. I look forward to witnessing the promising fruits of our collective efforts. Thank you.
Your Excellency, your visit comes on the heels of the third session of the Joint Commission of Cooperation, JCC, and your presence here today signifies the importance of our nation's bilateral relations and a commitment to further strengthening the ties between Kenya and Somalia. Your Excellency, Kenya and Somalia enjoy warm and cordial relations deeply rooted in a shared history, common socio-cultural heritage, a shared border, and commercial ties. Our bilateral relations are driven by goodwill and the determination between our two governments and people to work together towards enhancing and expanding the scope and breadth of our relations. I am pleased that the positive outcome of the third session of the Joint Commission of Cooperation lays a firm foundation for sustainable future engagements between Kenya and Somalia. We can only reap the full benefits of the MOUs and agreements we have discussed once we fully and effectively implement our commitments. It is of importance, Your Excellency, that we continue demonstrating the viability of the JCC mechanism in improving the existing quality of our relations. We should also endeavor to find ways of addressing any issues that could impede or slow our mutually beneficial cooperation. I would like to express my sincere appreciation for this opportunity to meet you and engage in discussions on matters of mutual interest and cooperation between Kenya and Somalia. The relationship between our countries is rooted in a shared history, culture, and vision for a peaceful and prosperous region. As neighboring nations, Kenya and Somalia share common challenges and opportunities that require close collaboration and cooperation. It is through dialogue and partnership that we can address these challenges and harness the opportunities for the benefit of our people. Your Excellency, this meeting accords us an opportunity to engage on a number of issues critical to elevating relations. I would like to propose we engage on political consultation, admission to the EAC, trade, security, and Kenya diaspora in Somalia.